Hello everyone, and welcome back to more mini motorways. Today we are heading into Dar es Salaam for the weekly challenge for the week of the 30th of September. This weekly challenge has 3 modifiers: unzoned, houses and destinations can appear anywhere; bridge to bankruptcy, bridges require double the amount of road tiles; and trove of traffic lights. Start with 4 traffic lights. Oh boy, traffic lights. Challenge has decent scores. The only major drop off is, besides the very beginning, is about 1500. So we'll probably aim a little higher than that, maybe 1800 or so. And we'll see how we do. Home zone can be a curse or a blessing. It just really depends on your luck. This is a decent start. This is also pretty good. I feel like roundabouts and traffic lights, even though I hate traffic lights, I feel like they're probably going to be a very good friend for us in this particular challenge. Just because, theoretically, a yellow house could appear all the way up here right now, and we would have to connect it in like this, or, connect it in like that, or just figure out where... Yeah, see? Appears right here. That's perfect. This is also really good. This is literally perfect. This will probably hold this until the end of the game. These 2 house spawns. Oh, I do need to... One thing about unzoned is that houses can spawn directly next to businesses, and businesses can spawn directly next to houses, both of which are bad. So, we need to make sure that we leave in these little pass-through roads so that we don't get trapped in a corner anywhere. So I'm going to use these roads very, very liberally to ensure that we always have these little sneaky throughway roads that we can pass through. I also want to make sure that I leave space near these shorter sections of water, just so when we do have to go through the water inevitably, we can take the shortest path and hopefully save ourselves some road tiles. Looks like yellow is going to get cut off here. I'm just going to do something like that just so maybe in the future we can put some more yellow in here. Though I doubt this will need it anytime soon. Neither will this one. This is a much better green than the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and put a roundabout here, maybe? Yeah, we'll do that. And then something like that, and something like that. I could put a traffic light here, though I don't know if that would be significantly better than just leaving it empty. Week 2, traffic lights or road tiles? I think I'm going to take the road tiles. I really want to emphasize making sure that we have coast access as much as possible. That's kind of a mediocre green. Not great, not the worst. It might be better if we ran these blues down by 1, and then in sort of like that, and then these greens could turn up like this, and then come into here. And then this green could take the shorter path. I think that's slightly better. I'm gonna throw in some little pass-through roads between some of these businesses. I'm also gonna leave the trees if they're in a convenient place, like here. Right now, a house can't spawn here, and it's also not costing me road tiles to have those, to have a house be unable to spawn here. So that is convenient for me. Very, very convenient. Week 3, we get our first motorway. I did just notice that we started with no bridges. I'm not sure if that's typical for Dar es Salaam. I haven't played this map in quite a while, but a motorway is basically just a better bridge, so I'm not terribly worried about it. I feel like we're getting really lucky with our spawns. The only like bad spawn that we've gotten is like maybe this green, these blues. These blues weren't even that bad until the green spawned. These grays are really good. I'd like to put a roundabout here. In fact, I think I might take the roundabout away from blue here. Oh, maybe that was a bad idea when I had no road tiles. All right, we'll get rid of this coast here. This gray is also really good. Wow. Okay, we're getting super lucky here. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna connect these two roads like this instead of like this, just to minimize traffic at this point. I recognize that this is longer, but I think it'll help in the traffic department. This gray is pretty useless, but it's fine. We'll just connect these blues in sort of like that. We want... Oh gosh, I'm having trouble. That's fine. There we go. So now this is a right turn. Week 4, we get to pick between a bridge or road tiles. I'm gonna take the bridge. We don't have any yet, so probably a wise choice to take it. That's probably going to be our first motorway. It's not really a population that's forming. That's really unfortunate. That's okay. We can do something like this and throw in a little motorway prong right here. Send that right across. And if we need an extra yellow, then we could, or an extra white, we can just run that guy across like that. It takes a lot of road tiles, but I feel like that's also one of the problems that you have to deal with on Unzoned is that houses just have a mind of their own when they're spawning. Like, it's insane. It's a good gray. I'd really like to get another roundabout here. I think I might take this yellow roundabout and throw the roundabout in here somewhere. Probably here. Just so this level 2 structure doesn't have to fight traffic so much. Ooh. Okay. I was really excited about this gray until I realized that it kind of takes my spot where I was going to put my roundabout. But it's okay. It's very, very close to the entrance, so I am pretty happy with it, actually. This yellow just leveled up. It doesn't have a lot of extra support, so I'm a little worried about it. But we can... Week 5, we get our motorway. We can sort of motorway something in or run something around like that because we've left this little access road in. So just things we will be thinking about as we continue with this challenge. We're getting more blue spawning. This blue just leveled up. Got a yellow down here. Not super useful. Got this yellow, which is also pretty mediocre in its usefulness. Might just run this through like that. Just to get this green a little more help. I'm still worried about this yellow. Ooh. And we get more yellow up here. Perfect. We'll just run that in. That's fine. More gray down here as well. Can potentially run in like that. Unless we get a gray spawn. That's even in a better spot. We're getting kind of lucky with our gray spawns, I feel. Week 6, definitely gonna grab the motorway. I feel like I might motorway these blues in for the sole purpose of making these yellows more convenient to get into here. Blue is also struggling, I've just realized that. I don't have an immediate plan to get it more assistance. Our blue population is kind of scattered, which isn't really optimal. We could potentially just hook these two blues together and send them in using probably a motorway. So we'll just do a little prong somewhere, maybe here. Yeah, something like that. And then motorway these blues in. And we'll do a little traffic light. Probably would have been better to do it up here. So I'll just move that. Can I put the traffic light here? Oh gosh, this is turning into a mess. There we go. That's where I want it. We'll do that. Getting green down here, which isn't super helpful. This green just leveled up. These greens are coming together in a sort of okay population. This green is decent. We can run it up and around this yellow. Week 7, we get bridge or road tile. I'm going to take the bridge, since we don't have one. I think what I might do is go ahead and just turn this green this way, and then flip this yellow so that it's going up to help out our level 2 yellow, rather than helping out this guy, because he's not really struggling, at least not yet. If he does ever need help, we can probably do something like this, where we just cut across our white roundabout. Ooh! You couldn't see it too well, but this yellow just spawned right beneath that motorway, so this road will probably never be necessary. That's a really good green spawn as well. This yellow is decent, but it's only good for helping out this guy, which I don't think will need help for probably the majority of this run. This gray is also really good. This gray is also really good. This yellow just leveled up. So, traffic management, probably a roundabout, is going to be what I'm looking for this. We will see if the mini motorway gods decide to give it to me, which they probably won't, because they don't like me. Oh, we get a roundabout. I spoke too soon. And then I spoke too soon yet again, because this blue is really not that great. Okay. We have two options here, really. We can cut off this gray, send these blues up and into here, or we can cut off this green and send these blues up and into here. I'm not too sure which one's better. I think sending these guys up and in is better, because we can connect them with a single road, get a motorway back, and then find some way to connect the rest of these, or these two other blues in, hopefully with a roundabout, though I'm not sure how we're going to fit that in here. I feel like it would intersect with green. That'd be terrible. Maybe even here? I'm not too sure. But we do have, the reason I think this is better is we have blue on this side of the map that we could potentially get into this road if necessary, which I think it probably automatically is, just because this blue was struggling a moment ago. This blue is good. That gray is pretty mediocre. I do just realize these yellows are actually really decent. I'm a little worried that if I connect these grays like this, then these are going to try and go in here, and this guy's going to go into here instead of here. But I do want to be able to connect these greens in, and I do want to connect these yellows in as well. Something like that. This gray is also decent. Not the best, but not the worst either. Do something like that. So now we have, this yellow has 2, 4, 5. This yellow has 2. This yellow has 2. This blue has 4. This blue has 2. Everything else seems to be doing okay. This green is out of population, but it doesn't seem like it's struggling, so we'll just keep thinking about this one, I think. That's a decent blue population. More than 2 houses spawn together. Apparently that's a decent blue population. That green is perfect. This is perfect. No flaws. I think what I might do is just go ahead and run a motorway for these 4 greens up and into here. Just, something like that, I think. And then we'll move the traffic light here. And then I'm going to have blue take a slightly shorter path through here, get rid of this road, turn both of these greens to go this way and up and into here. And that way this blue will get a little extra support, this green will get a little extra support, and this green will also get a little extra support. If we need to, we can turn these greens down this way. Getting white along this little access road, that's good. This gray is pretty mediocre. I'm a little worried that this will become a traffic issue if we leave it like that. I might even go ahead and turn green onto this roundabout. That white is mediocre. Week 9. I'm going to take the motorway. We do have white here and here as well. I'm still worried about how this gray traffic is going to exist. I might do something a little wonky here, where I take the farther grays and go into this farther business, just so that the traffic for the 2 businesses doesn't mix. And that should hopefully keep us from having any major intersection issues, hopefully. There's obviously the chance that we'll get screwed over, but hopefully we can avoid it. This white is decent in proximity, but it's not very good in actually getting into here. That white is mediocre. This white is actually pretty good. Run it in sort of like that. Though I'm not sure if that's actually good. I think this green just leveled up, but I thought it was already leveled up. This green did just spawn, though. Just noticed that. We can take and just run these 2 greens into here. Maybe even pull from that one if we need to. But I don't think we will. We did just hit 1,000. Everything seems to be going okay. This gray here is good. I think I might flip this road so these grays go around like this, and then this white can go down to the further entrance like that, just so we maintain traffic management here. And then there's also the possibility that, you know, if this gray needs a little more help, we can flip grays onto that, or if this gray needs a little more help, then we can run an extra road or something like that. This white is doing okay. I think only reason it's struggling is because of distance. So all of these whites are decently far, and the closest white to it is also decently far. Blue seems to be doing okay. Yellow is struggling a little bit, again, I think with just distance. This guy is using all of his population, so I'm just going to go ahead and run this extra yellow in there. Throw in a little traffic light, and if he needs more help, then we can conveniently get another yellow spawn here. I promise this is not scripted. Not scripted. More white down here, decent. More gray down here, also decent. I feel like this roundabout is probably going to get overloaded pretty quickly. So I might start looking into how we can separate these just a little bit. Do something here, here, and then maybe even something like this. So the only blue that goes through this roundabout is this one. I think that's slightly better. That green is decent. We can go ahead and get rid of this white, I think. I don't believe it's completely necessary to send it into here. But this green gets all three of these green population, and it can just have them. That's fine. Might even do something funky like this just for traffic management purposes. These blues are decent. These blues are decent. Might be good to connect them just so, you know, if this blue needs help, we can easily throw in a motorway here or something like that, but I'm not super worried about it. That gray is horrific. It's not a bad spot for it, it's just really, really intertwined with all of the rest of our businesses. This gray can go into that. And I'm not really sure how we can get any other grays into there. I might just have to hope that that one gray can hold down the fort. This gray we could potentially turn. No, I don't think we could. I'm lying to myself. Okay. I think it should be fine for now. Green here is good. Gray here is also good. Another green there is also good. I think I'm gonna take the traffic lights. I know some of you might be amazed, but taking the traffic lights. Traffic management is important. These greens are decent. I'm a little worried about this guy, but, you know, he's still got a full house, so I'm not super worried. It's just something I'm thinking about in the back of my mind. This yellow is struggling, or this white is struggling, and I think it's entirely because of traffic. He has plenty of population. There's no reason why he should be struggling. It's just traffic, because it's like a two-way intersection, three-way intersection, and it's not well managed. So I think what we'll do is wait around for another roundabout. While we're waiting around for another roundabout, we can take and run a line sort of like that. Throw in a traffic light here, and I think that should work. This motorway is here. So this ghost motorway exists, but because we had extra motorways, this motorway should still exist. Theoretically. I don't know if that actually worked out because the white is still struggling. But, you know, that's the theoretical way it's supposed to work. I'm gonna go ahead and run these yellows down like this, connect this gray in, and do that. This gray is really, really bad. We have lots of blue right now, but it's all very, very separated. I'm definitely going to take the roundabout. I'm probably going to throw it like right here, just immediately. And yeah, So that should be fine. Even more green down here. This green will probably never struggle for population. More gray here is decent. I'm still worried about this guy. This little gray population. I have a feeling we're probably going to end up motorwaying gray into him eventually. But I'm going to avoid that for as long as possible. More blue down here is pretty mediocre, but I'll take it. At some point I might run a couple of these like down and then around just to avoid going through the gray roundabout. For now, I think it's okay. Yellow is mediocre. Could potentially do something like this to get it into here, but I don't think it needs that quite yet. This yellow seems to be struggling just a little bit, which is due to it being out of population, it appears. Yeah, this house is empty, this house is empty, this house is empty, and this house is empty. So he needs a little extra population, which I'm not really sure where we're going to get it for him. It might be beneficial to just motorway the population that it has in, because part of the reason why I think it's struggling is just because how far this distance is. So it might be better to just run these houses together. Maybe even take the houses that are closer and have them be the priority, and then just run this straight into here. No major fuss about it. Just throw in a traffic light and call it a day. That does open up this, where we can send some more blue into here. Might be better to run it down and then in like this, just for traffic management purposes. That gray is pretty mediocre. That blue is also pretty mediocre. That gray is decent. I'll do something like that. This traffic is going to get a little crazy. This blue is starting to struggle. Looks like a population issue. We could potentially just run these blues in through here. And I might go ahead and connect this blue with a motorway. Looks like blue is surging right now, I think is what's happening, because this guy also appears to be struggling a little bit. Everything else seems to be doing okay. White is still struggling a little bit. I think that's now due to population. Yeah, because these guys are out. These guys are out. Looks like we're going to have to try and figure a way to connect some white population. I think it's probably going to be through connecting this guy in, and then motorwaying some grays into this guy. Connect. Could also connect this gray in. Something like that. And then something like this. Something like that for blue. I think that's slightly better. Or even something like that for blue, so it doesn't have to go all the way around. And I think that's slightly better. We could potentially run this white up and then like through here as well. And that's decent. This blue is mediocre. This gray is mediocre. We're getting a lot of mediocre spawns, but we're doing okay. I did realize we just hit 3K. That's pretty crazy. We have absolutely crushed our original goal of, what was it, 1,500? 1,800? I'm not even sure. I might move this road here so that it's one closer this way. So it'll be something like that, just so I can run this gray down and into here, just to give this guy a little extra support. I'd like to put a roundabout in here if I can. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. So now this traffic management will be slightly better. I'd like to do a similar thing on the other side if possible, but I don't think there's enough space down here for it. I will take the traffic management where I can get it. This yellow is pretty mediocre. I could potentially... Oh no, I don't think I can because this motorway's here. Ah, I was gonna say I could potentially turn it so it goes this way. It's like green is struggling. Green is surging right now, I think is what's happening. I'm gonna disconnect this blue just so that it's not in these greens' way as far as traffic goes. Yeah, green is definitely surging. This guy is struggling, this guy is struggling, and this guy is struggling. We're just gonna try and find as much green as possible and connect it in as much as possible. So this guy can connect in, this guy can partially impede on white's roundabout and come into here. This green can go in. These grays can get slightly inconvenienced, I think. Ooh. Yeah, I think this gray can afford to lose one of its population for just a little bit while we fix green up. We can do something like that, and then this green doesn't appear to be struggling, so I'm just going to turn one of his little population onto this guy just to make sure that he doesn't struggle. And then blue can afford to lose one house as well here so that this guy can turn onto this. And then I think that will probably hold us over. If it doesn't, we do have some green down here that we can turn on. Motorway that we can now use. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna watch for just a second and see if that helps. I don't know that it's helping. I think we might need some more green. Or some better traffic management. I think it's some better traffic management because this roundabout is going absolutely insane. I'm not really sure where we can take one from. We definitely need this one. We definitely don't need this one. This one's not necessary yet. So if we get this roundabout back, we might be able to fit it somewhere in here, though I'm kind of doubtful. I'm gonna have to find some more green somewhere, I think. I think it's probably gonna be these two. We'll just turn them like this and give them their own private motorway, probably down into here. I don't want to motorway it directly in because I don't want to cause even more traffic here, but this traffic is already pretty crazy. I don't think we can fit a roundabout anywhere in here to help with that. No. Alright. Looks like blue is starting to struggle again. Definitely needs the blue that we turned off of it. This blue is struggling. Turn this guy onto there. Turn these greens like this. Like that. And then potentially run blue through there. That's really awful. That's some traffic right there. Something, I don't know, potentially like that. That's really, really awful traffic, but it's fine. I think we're probably nearing the end here. This green, I think the traffic from this is gonna kill us. This blue is no longer struggling. This blue is still struggling, but this yellow traffic is crazy. I don't really have anywhere else that I can get this blue more blue. I think I might just let it run. Turn this yellow this way. Where's this yellow going? Oh, it's going up and then through the blue chaos and then into here. Okay. That's not the worst, actually. I think that might be helpful. We'll allow it. We'll see what happens. I think I might let it run at this point. We're at 4K. I'm decently happy with that. Unless I see any major fixes that we can make, I think this is probably the end. We get a motorway. I'm not really sure if there's anywhere we can use that to make this significantly better. This could use more white population. I just realized it's been struggling for white population. We could potentially just send some of this down and probably directly in. And, oh, yeah, this green, this traffic killed us. That's what that was. 4,171. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. We will get our little title, get rid of our background, and then put our weekly challenge on there. The screen traffic was just too much in the end. This little traffic light couldn't handle it. Did try to put a roundabout in there, but it couldn't fit with where this blue was and where this green was. But overall, that was not the worst. We got pretty lucky with our spawns, especially in the beginning. The only really bad spawn that we got, to be honest, was this green after we got these blues down here, and like our only green population was below the blues. But even in the end, that wasn't really that bad, actually, at all. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and see how we placed. 4171. We got top 10%. Okay, not super high, but I'm pretty happy with that. 60th place, 4171. It is only Monday, so if you want to beat my score, please try. You've got all week to do it. I believe in you. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, whatever you're feeling, whatever makes you happy. And I will see you next time.